Reciting Ben Stein's entire resume would take up the rest of our time this morning. In brief, he's been a presidential speechwriter, actor, Emmy Award-winning game show host, economist, lawyer, professor. Yes, it wasn't Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Basically, did it all. With all that experience, it's no surprise that his latest book is called What Would Ben Stein Do? And we are fortunate enough to have Mr. Stein with us here this morning.
Honor to be here. Honor to be here.
Congratulations on
your deep freeze studio.
Right, and it's actually warmer than yesterday. So it's a good thing you came in on a Tuesday.
Yes.
You talk a lot in the book about the importance of marriage.
I'd say for most Americans, the marriage choice they make is the most important choice they will ever make. Who they decide to marry or have as their significant other is the most important choice they'll ever make.
So is 72 days long enough to really allow a marriage to play out?
Well, if you're a wealthy Beverly Hills young woman whose father was a lawyer for a very famous sports figure, yes, that's long enough.
That should do it. Okay.
But for most people, it takes about I don't know. I've been married 43 years to my same wifey, and we still learn new things about each other all the time. But it's if you make the right choice about who you marry, pretty much everything else works out. It's vital.
Yeah, but you do say you have to, I mean, economics is definitely a big part of it. And you don't want to obviously marry for money or anything like that. But if you do marry into a situation where someone is bad with money or doesn't have a job, it could lead to some big problems.
Character is everything. And one of the key hallmarks of character is whether or not a person has a job. Now, we have a recession going on now. A lot of people can't get work. But at least a person's got to be looking for work. She's got to be, he or she's got to be diligently looking for work. A person who stays home all day watching baseball games, watching, playing video games, that's not usually good marriage material. Work is so important in life, it's unbelievable.
Because it gives you that purpose.
Yes, it gives you
to get up every
self-esteem, sense of direction, makes you feel at the end of the day as if you've accomplished something, makes you feel as if you're not just nothing.
Do you feel that people now, we hear of a lot of people that just stop looking for work. Is it one of those things, I know you talk about it in the book, where people just feel they don't want to take a job that's beneath, they'd rather not work than take a job that's beneath what they feel they should have?
There are plenty of Americans who feel that way. Obviously, plenty of them don't, and plenty of them would take any job they could get. But there are an awful lot of Americans who will not work at a fast food shop, won't work at a clothing shop, insist on doing things the way they want to do them, say they're artists. That's nonsense. A person of good character, this is just my opinion, will take any job rather than take welfare or take handouts. Any job with dignity is a perfectly good job. My old boss, President Nixon, now belonging to the ancient past, used to say emptying a bedpan, if you do it with the right spirit, has as much dignity as being President of the United States. And I think it's true. Caring for the sick has a tremendous amount of dignity.
It's incredibly important, too, and increasingly so.
It's incredibly, unbelievably important.
Let's look at some of the things that are happening right now. I know that you talk about, you believe Wall Street really does hold a lot of responsibility for the financial crisis that we're in.
A lot.
When you look at what's happening downtown here in New York City, when you look at Occupy Wall Street, how it's spread around the world, do they have the right message?
No, they don't. They're just a bunch of bums, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, if they had some specific ideas, if they had some specific proposals, if they were doing anything whatsoever besides sleeping in their tents and banging drums, I would say, great, God bless them. I spent a very large part of my life crusading against fraud on Wall Street, and I think it's a worthwhile crusade. But to just bang a drum and then light up a big doobie and go back into your tent, that does not do anything whatsoever to advance the cause of justice or decency or prosperity. I absolutely, if young Americans want to find fraud and fight against it, that's great. But to bang on a drum, no thanks.
To ask you about Herman Cain, also another highlight, another one of the headlines here on this program this morning.
Oh, yes.
Is he handling this the right way? What would you have done differently if you were him, and how would you advise him?
I would advise him that he should have some national experience in government before he should run for president. I think he's an incredibly impressive guy. I agree with his point of view on almost every single thing he says. But government is a job that requires experience. You cannot just walk in after having run a pizza company and been a lobbyist for the National Restaurant Association and do it. He's not my guy to be president. I like him. He's impressive. I think so with some seasoning, he's the right guy, but he's not the right guy now.
Who's your guy?
Oh, well, I guess Romney.
Romney. All right. Ben Stein, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I love how you talk about the importance of education, too.
Yes, education.
So be sure to read it.